like our culture is competitive, man. It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that he want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still competing. It don't make sense.
I mean, a lot of people are afraid of honesty. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid to show who they are, you know, because they think it, you know, makes them look weak or whatever, or, you know, well, we all have flaws, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who tries to act like they don't, it's full of, well, you know what they're full of. Yeah.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them out my head. Just call me.
Sean Carter, I believe everything that Big L ever told me. He never lied to me. Lamont never lied to me. And the last time I was with him, he told me that you was gonna try to kill him.
50 Cent is back at it again, dragging Jay-Z for being the most insecure, jealous, and vindictive man in rap. And 50's got the receipts to prove it. Now, if you've been following 50 for a while, you know he's been calling out Jay for years, warning us about his manipulative and devious behavior. And this time, 50 is setting the record straight about how Jay-Z tried to block him from performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, a move that's got everyone side-eyeing Jay's power plays. But that's not all. Jay-Z's reputation for being jealous and insecure isn't just industry gossip. It's backed by receipts. Remember when Jay refused to collaborate with certain up-and-coming rappers, fearing they'd outshine him? Or when he tried to mess with the release of DMX's 6th album just because he was scared of competition? Or how about the time he blocked Nas's career momentum post-Ether? Jay-Z even betrayed Kanye West after he spent years claiming they were family. Kanye even later hinted that Jay might try to take him out for exposing him, but that didn't stop Kanye from dragging both Jay and his wife.
They could control Charles Barkley. They could control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is gonna be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right?
Now fast forward to today, and Jay's name is tied up in the Bombshell lawsuit involving Diddy and allegations of rape against a victim who was just 13 at the time of the alleged crime.
This evening, Jay-Z is being accused of raping a minor along with Diddy at a MTV VMAs after party back in 2000, according to documents obtained by Fox News Digital tonight.
And you already know 50 Cent didn't hold back his reaction to this lawsuit either. And it's now really starting to look like this might just be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Jay-Z's questionable past. So what exactly did 50 say about Jay-Z's jealous and vindictive side? And most importantly, does this mean Jay could actually join his friend Diddy behind bars? Let's get into it.
When you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you're going, so what was the problem? You can't exactly remember what the problem was. That's what went through with Joe.
So to give you some context first, the beef between 50 Cent and Jay-Z has been brewing for over 20 years. It started as a light competition but got heated fast. Back in '99, 50 called out Jay on his track, How to Rob, and Jay snapped back on, It's hot, some like it hot, with that infamous line, I'm about $1, what the F is 50 cents? But by 2002 though, Jay told Angie Martinez in an interview that things were cool between him and 50.
Wait, who, you and 50 Cent?
Yeah, you know I put a I respect your record. Yeah, I like that record. It was hot. But you know I gotta spank you dogs. That was the conversation. No doubt, do your thing.
Right. You gave him to the pound.
But things were far from smooth between Jay and 50. Jay kept throwing slick disses, and 50 wasn't the type to let it slide. He fired back, accusing Jay of buying his way to the top instead of earning it through grind and talent.
There's a huge difference.
and energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records, plural, 2 of them sold 5 million. That's Get Rich or Die Trying and Massacre. You know, so it's a huge difference in who we are with each other internationally. Let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there, because America can be purchased.
50 also didn't hold back when talking about Jay-Z's attitude, claiming he has a God complex. In a 2009 Rolling Stone interview, 50 called Jay out for his ego, saying he has a king complex. He thinks he's effing Jesus, this Jehovah-ish. And then in that same interview, 50 went on to call out Jay for betraying his own Rockefeller artists. I think he was saying, Rock La Familia, we family, it's the Rockefeller gang. And then using traditional business tactics, 50 told Rolling Stone. He didn't have their interests in mind. He was just doing what he had to do for himself. And then in a 2023 interview on Big Boy TV, 50 spilled some tea, claiming Jay-Z tried to block him from performing at the 2022 Super Bowl by pulling strings with the NFL. But things didn't go as planned because Eminem had 50's back and reportedly told Jay he wouldn't perform unless 50 was part of the lineup.
Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You start looking at that's not mine. That's theirs. They harbor, right? But when you look at M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like I'm a shady aftermath. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so much G-Unit Records.
Right.
They forget that I'm M and Dre's artist.
And now, in a new interview on Cam'ron's Talk with Flea, 50 Cent once again called out Jay-Z for playing dirty, claiming that Jay is still making shady moves, not just in music, but in business too. What's wild is that 50 pointed out that Jay doesn't even have anything left to compete for, but apparently that hasn't stopped him from trying to block 50's business deals out of pure malice and spite.
Yeah, this is why I was saying I knew what old boy was doing, right? With the Super Bowl, because he was doing like go ahead. He was doing some wild shit. Because he was saying that to Eminem that the NFL had the issue with me. And I'm like, well, what's the issue? Why don't I have an issue when I'm becoming a partner in the actual team, but they got an issue with my performance? Right? Makes no sense. You know what I mean?
I was going to get to that later, but since we're here now. And when he says, oh boy, for the audience that don't, talking about Jay-Z, this was discussed before. Jay-Z told Dr. Dre, just for people who's not up on this, or Eminem, that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl that they had a couple years ago. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just
threatened. Possibly.
Not even threatened. You know, I think it's just when you take the competition from like our culture is competitive, man. It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that he want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still competing. It just don't make sense. Like, what are we competing for? What's the goal? Like this even look a lot of this, even a lot of the competitive stuff, or what we would call it beef, right? And it changed. That terminology changed when it's Biggie and Tupac, because we start saying the things that people would say that cause beef in the environment. When before that they called it babbling in our culture. Right. Because that's what it is until it turns into some street. So when you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you're going, so what was the problem?
But 50 isn't the only one who accused Jay-Z of being jealous and insecure. Many insiders have claimed Jay intentionally held back Rockefeller artists' success to ensure they didn't surpass him in popularity. And let's not forget Uncle Ron, who claimed to be Beyonce's former bodyguard. he accused both Jay-Z and Beyonce of sabotaging multiple artists' careers over the years.
Secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are, how you step on anybody.
But get this, Uncle Ron recently passed away from pneumonia, and the news wasn't even reported in the media until weeks later.
But the crazy thing is that he has been passed away since last month, and people are just not hearing about this. His page is still active, but everything, the comments that everything is turned off, and all the videos of the conspiracies have been since taken down.
And then, of course, there's Jaguar Wright, Jay-Z's former background singer and probably his loudest critic. Jaguar claimed that several people who were once close to Jay, like Harlem legend Big L, either mysteriously died or had their careers sabotaged, all to clear the path for Jay to rise to the top.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest.
sensei.
One of the dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z.
Now let's talk about Big L for a second. In the early 90s, L was a rising star in Harlem's underground hip-hop scene, known for his insane freestyles. After signing with Columbia Records and dropping a successful debut, he was unexpectedly dropped. However, he started his own label and began working on his second album, even catching the attention of Dame Dash at Rockefeller. But just as his career was taking off, Big L was tragically murdered in a drive-by shooting. And while the case remains unsolved, Jaguar has made bold claims suggesting that L suspected Jay-Z might have been involved.
What would you do if a vicious enemy suddenly started coming at you, armed to the teeth and ready to kill you?
Armed to the teeth and ready to kill you. Sean Carter, I believe everything that Big L ever told me. He never lied to me. Lamont never lied to me. And the last time I was with him, he told me that you was gonna try to kill him. And he told me not to trust you. And he told me to watch out for you. And he told me that your greatest sin is coveting, Sean Carter. You're a coveter.
And if you've been keeping up with Jaguar, then you know she's been on a mission to expose Jay-Z for literally years. And most recently, she took her claims to the Piers Morgan show, where she made it clear that Diddy isn't the only monster in the industry. Of course, Jay-Z pressured Piers to delete that part of the interview, but you already know the internet never forgets.
You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. Forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter.
And now let's talk about DMX, one of the few rappers besides 50 Cent who was bold enough to call out Jay-Z for being bitter and jealous. DMX never shied away from speaking his truth about their issues, despite Jay consistently trying to manipulate the narrative. After X's passing in April 2021, Jay appeared on LeBron James's show and claimed that it was all love between him and X, despite X trying to compete with him.
So there was a competitive thing, but it was big love. He was so competitive with me. I never met a human being more competitive with me, like ever, not even my big brother.
But here's what Jay-Z didn't mention. According to DMX himself, it was Jay who was competing with him constantly. See, when Jay became president of Def Jam in 2004, taking over from Lyor Cohen, things allegedly shifted. DMX had been killing it for Def Jam, dropping 5 consecutive #1 albums between 1998 and 2003. But when it came time for his 6th album, Year of the Dog Again, X claimed Jay deliberately delayed its release because he wanted to clear the lane for his own comeback.
You know, like I said, I had the crazy track record, Def Jam, everything was good. You know, I go to do the 6th album, and you know,
Jay-Z
somebody
became
else
president.
takes over. Yeah. You know, when he first got the job, he hit me with the call like, yo, dog, inmates is running the building, like, yo, you good? Finish the album, shoot the video. So what happened? Go on vacation and, you know, we don't know. What you mean you don't know? How do you listen to a whole album, pick a single, shoot a video, then don't know? Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. You know, because at first you retire, you know, then get me off the label, now you're back rapping again. Okay. It's all good. It's all good.
For DMX, this was the moment he realized Jay-Z was willing to throw anyone under the bus for his own benefit. So X decided to leave Def Jam. But there's more to it. DMX's trust issues with Jay ran deeper, especially when it came to Jay's ties with shady industry power players. Unlike Jay, X stayed true to himself and never sugarcoated how label owners control artists. He wasn't willing to compromise his integrity for anyone, and that difference in approach made him part ways with the company.
They got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play their
right.
You know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label executive. And it's like there's too much of that going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am and just play my motherfucking music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now they want you all up under this, you know, sitting at the going to dinner with them and shit like that, and you know, all that favor for a favor. I don't get down like that. Look, I give you the music, you give my money. That's it.
Back in 2005, DMX dropped the track The Industry, where he exposed the dark side of the music business, and a lot of the things he talked about 20 years ago are still happening to this day.
When I first got with Lyor, the first thing he did was try to make me have a beef with another black person on his behalf. And I was like, he's like, you with me, right? If you with me, then you gotta go to war with me. I said, bro, I got a lot of beefs on the streets. You gonna go to war with me? Let's not do that. So there would be times that he would be saying things, and like I'd be with like Beanie Siegel or something, and he'd say something that was so offensive, unknowing, unconsciously, just demeaning. And Beanie would be ready to knock him out, and I'd have to bark on him so Beanie didn't do nothing to him. You understand? I'd be like, I got it, don't worry. Like, he was just an offensive person. What he couldn't understand about me is that I could have white people working for me. Because he thinks black people can only have black people working for him. So when I would walk in and have anybody white in my staff, he'd go to the side and go, are you okay? And let me know if they're treating you wrong. Blink twice. I swear to God he did that shit. Yeah, the blink twice, the napkin. He used to do it to everyone.
Now, as for Jay-Z, he's been playing the industry game since the start, and over the years, he's faced plenty of accusations about turning on his friends and partners. Take Dame Dash, who publicly accused Jay of turning his back on him. Dame claims Jay cozied up to shady industry figures, especially Lyor Cohen, who allegedly used a divide-and-conquer tactic to tear apart Rockefeller. Now, Lyor has been caught up in all types of shady allegations for years, and he also made plenty of questionable comments along the way. But in 2018, when he appeared on The Breakfast Club, he made his true feelings clear. While talking about DMX's struggles with addiction, Lyor claimed he was sad about it. But when Charlemagne pressed him on why he kept signing artists who promoted that lifestyle, Lyor boldly said that it's just how the business works.
One of the biggest artists you ever had had a real bad drug problem, DMX.
I'm so sad. It's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
I'm saying that's hypocritical though. You're saying
it's opportunistic.
Yeah.
I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
Y'all made a lot of money together.
Made a lot of
Come
money.
on, Leo. Don't do that to him.
I don't know him. I really don't. So, I don't know what to tell you.
By the way, after Dame heard what Lior said, he fired back on Instagram saying, "Thanks for this, liar Cohen, for proving my point in true culture vulture form. They make money off us and then try to erase our true history and act like the real ones never existed." Now you might be wondering how Lear and Dame's drama connects to DMX. Well, there's speculation that Lear was behind Jay-Z's interference with DMX's career. But things got even more disrespectful after DMX's death. At X's funeral in April 2021, Lior didn't show up in person. Instead, he sent in a recorded message, and while he started with some respectful words, he ended up calling DMX a gremlin and saying his death wasn't really a surprise.
So the race against time was that we all know X is a gremlin and reckless and looking for a wall to crash into. X, if you listen to X, if you see X, this is, his death is no surprise. If you listen to and you watched who and what X was.
Now we all know DMX had his struggles with addiction, but to bring that up at the man's funeral, Lior definitely proved Dame Dash right, showing his true culture vulture ways. And since Jay-Z has always called Lior his mentor, it makes sense why DMX kept his guard up around him. On top of that, Irv Gotti recently did an interview where he claimed Jay-Z was insanely jealous of DMX. In fact, Gotti said Jay and Lior used to laugh together at X and didn't believe he would ever make it big.
First meeting I ever had, I was like, we gotta sign DMX, and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said, she knew what I wanted to sign DMX. She said, DMX don't sell, your is fired. Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, you think he's better than me? And I'd be like, he's nice just like you. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less of like you and more like him. Yeah, but he don't want to live that. He's depressing, Gotti. And I said, I don't give a f. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman. And then something strange happened when I made Get At Me Dog. If you remember at the beginning of the video, it's the heartbeats. DMX, live at the tunnel. Y'all don't even remember the tunnel. Funk Master Voice, and then I put that sound bite. Let's take it back to the streets, mother. The video's flashing, f***ing up your eyes. It caused change. And now, there's no more shiny suits. We back to the hood, and X is the leader of this revolution. I used to put on the wall a triangle with 5. And it was like, they used to clown me. And they used to be like, who's gonna buy his records, Gotti? Chihuahuas, he's barking. No one wants to hear that bullshit. And I'd be like, yeah. It's 05. It was no more writing on the walls. It was, y'all can get behind me. I used to tell Leo in the midst of the whole staff, and I would tell him, yo, shut the f up, yo. I said, you work better when you shut up and get behind me. Now this is what we doing. And he would shut up.
And then, of course, we can't forget about Jay-Z's former friend Kanye West, who openly exposed Jay and Beyonce for being puppets for their higher-ups. After Kanye was blacklisted in late 2022 for exposing the industry's shady side, Jay-Z's former BFF Diddy reached out to him for a face-to-face meeting, but Kanye wasn't buying it and refused to play along with whatever Diddy had in mind. Instead, Kanye decided to share screenshots of text messages between him and Diddy. And in one message, Kanye wrote, "Come and do something illegal to me now, please." Diddy then replied, As soon as I land, we'll meet face to face. Send me the address. However, Kanye suspected Diddy was trying to set him up, so he wrote back, F you fed. Diddy then again asked Kanye to send him his address, but Kanye wasn't having it. He responded, this ain't a game. I'ma use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me. And then when Kanye ran into some paparazzi later, he made it clear that unlike Diddy and many other rappers, he can't be controlled because he hasn't taken anyone's life. But he didn't stop there. Kanye also name-dropped Jay-Z and Beyonce, saying they're just puppets for even bigger power players in the industry. And the reason they can be controlled is because they've allegedly done all types of illegal things on their way to the top.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see,
you.
it ain't no name I won't name. None of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names. None of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Now circling back to 50 Cent, Tony Yayo, 50's longtime friend and G-Unit member, recently backed up 50's claims on Vlad TV, hinting that Jay-Z has a long history of shady moves to keep other rappers in check.
So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you didn't
Bowl?
know that? Yeah, he didn't
Well,
want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hate. Yeah,
I remember
pushed for it,
Eminem
yeah.
was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah, and
But I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what, some of the
I mean,
the back
you
and
know,
forth back in the
it's
day?
competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the f is 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what, 9? What was
Yeah,
that?
but
9,
then
9?
but after that, they did a song together. Remember
yeah,
the whole,
of course,
the
but
whole
50
Gina
was
sneaker
50 was
thing?
always competition for. Then remember Jay said, "Yo, 50's coming." He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember he came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might on G-Unit, but we with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
But what's your take on all these industry insiders exposing Jay-Z as insecure and jealous? Was 50 trying to warn us all along? And now that Jay's been named as Diddy's alleged accomplice, how do you think things will unfold for him? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't miss out on this next video.